Welcome back, folks, to another episode of Jamin's Daily. Gonna bring you another episode of Yahoo Headlines, one of my favorites. Really, it's the main one that we do because it's so easy and it's fun. Always get a thrill, folks. Airline says passengers Biden sign offended people. And when I saw that, I wonder, did this happen on a Southwest flight? Maybe. But you know, when you think about it, fair is fair. I guarantee you, if Trump would have won, maybe he didn't win. Even if he didn't win, even now, if somebody had a Trump sign, somebody would be offended. So if you have a Biden sign, are you offended? Maybe the passenger's Biden sign said something bad about Biden, which is probably what it is, and somebody was offended. How offended were you? I don't know. Jenny Grondal, a labor organizer from Southern California, was carrying a Biden sign she wanted to frame onto her flight. How do you frame it onto your flight? That doesn't... We're going to have to look into this, folks. Activist says Southwest told her to cover Biden sign because many were offended. On Friday, Jenny Grondal flew from Phoenix to San Diego carrying a souvenir, a cardboard sign she wanted to frame when she got home to Southern California. It read, Arizonans con Biden, with a cactus that was made by an artist named Javier Torres. It marked an accomplishment for the labor organizer, outreach to Latinos in Arizona to vote for Joe Biden for president 2020. Grondal serves on the executive board of Labor's International Union of North America, representing workers in California and Arizona. She also volunteered for the Biden campaign, and a friend had given her the sign for the hours she worked. I worked very hard to register Latino voters. The Latinos showed up. Arizona went blue. Explain why it meant so much to her. Listen, doesn't she know she's not supposed to say Latino? It's Latinx. No, it's a Latinx. Latinx is so dumb. Latinx is cooler than Latinx. When she got to the gate, Grondal said a Southwest Airlines employee told her, many customers are offended by your sign. The agent asked her to either cover it with white paper and tape or to fold it to put underneath her seat. Then Grondal asked what would have happened if she had been wearing a t-shirt supporting Biden and Vice President Harris. The agent told that she would have had to turn it inside out to board the flight. Instead of covering up the sign, Grondal folded it and placed it under her seat. As Americans return to the skies during the pandemic, they are facing unruliness among fellow passengers. Flight attendants are getting the worst of it as passengers become violent and refuse mask mandates. So they're just being cautious. They're not trying to find reasons to get the cabin, folks, kind of, riled up. So listen, you got some dude who's been waiting on his layover. He's been in the airport having to wear a mask for 4 hours. Finally gets on the flight. He's been drinking. And now some lady shows up with a Biden sign. And this dude's a Trump supporter. He's bound to mouth off. He may say something. It doesn't even have to be. He can just barely say one thing and then somebody, blah, 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 blah. No. It's like a powder keg. And again, I guarantee you, somebody had a MAGA hat on in that airplane. It would be, they'd have to ground the airplane. All right, folks? So it's got to go both ways. You're so full of crap. Fox News stars feud on Hannity. I don't know. I've always been almost self-employed. I haven't worked with a lot of people or had colleagues in a while. But I never feuded with them. So can you... I can only imagine if you were feuding with your coworker, that would be kind of strange. Woman featured in my 600-pound life show dies at 30. It's still too bad. That show is good, though. Very compelling. But sad. Celebrities are under fire for their bathing privilege? What the heck? I have heard about this a couple times between two couples. These guys, this Dak Shepard, I can't remember her name, something Bell, Catherine Bell, maybe. And then also Mila Kunis, Mila Kunis, and Ashton Kutcher. Both of them recently have been talking about how they don't give their kids baths, which is, I mean, fine by me if you don't want to bathe your children. Children run, they stink like dogs if you don't give them a bath. I don't know what these people are doing. It's pretty ridiculous. But now they're calling it bathing privilege. I guess you get in, if you have the ability to take a bath, you should take a bath. Because if you don't take a bath when you can take a bath, it's a sign of privilege. Is that right? I don't know. Listen, everybody should take a bath at least once a day. That's the golden rule. Margot Robbie's profane warning to squad director. Student loan repayment pause extended for a... Oh, is this a final time? Let's see here if he said it there. If he used the word, a lifeline, but did he say final time? This affects me, folks. I have student loans, and this is nice. This is good for me. Sydney Sweeney, 23, shows off toned abs in bikini. This was on my feed a couple of days ago, actually. Total clickbait. And this is another thing we've talked about, folks, about the clickbait and what drives the clickbait. But I want for you also to notice, because we're always looking into the details. The devil is in the details. And have you noticed that in this picture that's on the internet of her, this Sydney Sweeney, she's 23. They always say shows off toned abs. It's acceptable to say that you showed off toned abs, even though the pic here doesn't even show her abs. We all can see what's on this pic. But they couldn't say Sydney Sweeney, 23, shows off her big boobs in bikini, because that's a little creepy, a little bit icky, right? You can't say Sydney Sweeney, 23, shows off her big boobs in bikini, but you can say she shows off her toned abs. But in the photo, you show her big boobs. Are you following me? Am I making sense on this, guys? Moving on. Kourtney Kardashian posed practically naked in a mirror selfie. Guys, I'm almost embarrassed to show you my Yahoo feed. What is going on here? Look at this. 3 is like 4 in a row. Olympian Lolo Jones, 39, celebrates her midlife crisis in a series of sexy poolside pics. Oh, hey, listen. I'd rather Jean-Claude Van Damme at least take me back to my childhood. I was just crazy at the time, says Van Damme. He recalls throwing a papaya at, I don't know, who knows. Oh, this one. Did you hear about this? Yeonmi Park says she was robbed by 3 women. Bystanders stopped her from calling the cops. She was on Joe Rogan. She's apparently with a nanny and her baby. So she's with her baby. She has her nanny. They're walking the baby. They get mugged by 3 black women. And they were struggling apparently, and there's bystanders who don't want to help. And then when the muggers flee, according to this park lady, she's like just been assaulted and is seeking help, and according to her, white folks around were like, they didn't want to get involved. They're like, you know what, you shouldn't call the cops because that's kind of racist to call the cops on a black person. And that's her story. Look into it, folks. I'm just kind of summarizing it, but that's what she said. Oh, here we go. Elizabeth Hurley. It would not be a Yahoo headline without Elizabeth Hurley in a bikini picture. Nina Dobrev hits the beach in a red bikini. Heidi Klum. More bikini photos. This is insane. Okay, guys. This is the one we have to talk about. This, guys. Everybody, I encourage you have to watch this. Simply for there's like 3 different reasons to watch this, but the one is because it's amusing. It's bizarre. You can use 3 different adjectives to describe it very easily. You're not a chick. Video shows argument between trans cancel woman and store owner. So here's this old man right here. He's 78, I think he says, or something like that. A Star Wars shop owner in Washington doesn't give a blank about feelings anymore after a confrontation with a... So the story goes, this guy's got a Star Wars memorabilia, and he's got this sign in there that is referencing a joke. It's a lewd, L-E-W, a lewd joke about the cancel of Dr. Seuss. If you will recall, there was an attempt to cancel Dr. Seuss, and it was successful within several of his books. There were some of them that were deemed problematic. So in essence, Dr. Seuss got canceled in a way. So I'm thinking this is where this joke comes from in a way, because it says the sign says something about Dr. Seuss. It's a rhyme about trans people and anatomy, etc., etc. And so it's a vulgar joke that is seen as hateful by the trans cancel woman. So she goes in and she confronts him about it, and they proceed to have a dialogue. And it is amazing. So check it out, folks. You can watch it. Trust me, it's on the internet. Ariel Winter looks just like the Little Mermaid. She shows off red hair and a bikini. I think the word bikini has been on my Yahoo headline for, I don't know, it's like 4, 5, 6, 7 times already. The thing is, if you see up here, I'm not even signed in. It's still showing me all this crap. Dua Lupi just wore a strappy see-through knit top. Oh my God. Mother-in-law's mid-proposal. No. Vanessa Bryant. Here, okay, Vanessa Bryant. You know that apparently her mom was all kind of sour grapes and mad, saying Vanessa never took care of her, doesn't give her money, this and that, owed her money. So she had to settle. That's because Vanessa Bryant probably has, what, $100 million? Fetty Wap's 4-year-old daughter's cause of death is revealed. Oh, no. Oh, here's something we need to talk about, guys, because this is dumb. When non-black celebrities like Olivia Rodrigo speak with a black accent, and in this ridiculous article, they're saying AF, I be trending. So basically, if you talk like an illiterate moron, that is associated with a black accent. If you don't use like linking verbs and things like that, that's black accent and only black people. There's no such thing, folks. They even try to throw in the word y'all. Are you kidding me? I'm from Texas. I'm from South Texas. People say, everybody says y'all. What are y'all doing? Hey man, what's going on? What are y'all gonna do later? What's up, y'all? Hey. This is how it goes. It has nothing to do with race at all. And yet they're trying to classify words or your vernacular they're trying to give ownership to a vernacular, which is ridiculous, about the cultural appropriation and that, which is even, this is ridiculous. Twitter. That's the thing. Twitter is the worst thing to ever happen in this world. And then what's funny about it is they can take this and then they start getting into the minutia and the nuances of these liberal art, niche degrees and studies of stuff. It's hilarious. Those things, y'all, AF, which everybody knows what says, like I'm blank AF, like I'm blank as that's not even Ebonics that they're talking about right here. A register of speech that appropriates features of what gets called African American English or Ebonics, often at a syntax or grammar level. I just don't. I don't know, man. This is where they lose everybody. So it says literal blackface is now a very obvious form of racist appropriation, but when it comes to linguistics, it's more difficult to know where to draw the line. Exactly. What's going on here? Trust me, man. They're trying to tell everybody what you can and can't do, man. Only certain people, man. That's what y'all wanted. These are the people we follow. Like, here's some nice, girl trying to help with the COVID, and she's just being herself using AF. That's not Ebonics. Y'all, using the word y'all is widely accepted by all Southerners. It's not Ebonics. They use ridiculous examples. Kylie Jenner ditched her hair extensions and makeup. No. Jeopardy champ. Who cares about it? Well, the other day, true story, I watched Jeopardy for about 10 minutes and I got about 3 or 4 answers right. I was pretty proud of myself. What happens when you allow hundreds of snake hunters into the Everglades? You get a winner. Yes. That's a pretty sweet photo, if you ask me. It's pretty boss. $223 invasive Burmese pythons from the Everglades. What's crazy is all those all started from pets. People had pets, pythons, and then they put them in the Everglades. Megan Fox dressed just like Bella Hadid in this. No. Gang members establish no. Heidi Klum, O.J. Simpson. Bill Gates says he regrets cheating on his ex-wife with a Microsoft employee. He admits to sadness and regrets in first interview on Melinda Gates' divorce. Did y'all hear about Britney Spears? There's a video of her where she's talking about getting her first iPad, which is strange because she talks about having an iPhone but never having an iPad. iPads have been out for a long time and she's rich and famous. But famous has nothing to do with it, but she's rich. How she talked about her kids having iPads, but she never had an iPad. I guess it's just strange to think that she never bought herself an iPad at some point, or nobody gifted her one. That's the other thing. You would have thought that somebody would have given Britney Spears an iPad at some point. But I guess I'm wrong. What do I know? I should have signed in because I'm getting a bunch of crap on this Yahoo feed. Oh, look, Obama cut Larry David, David Letterman, and Conan O'Brien from his invitation list. Oh, poor guy. Those guys got damn. So sad. Oh, if I had Twitter, I would tweet at them saying, it's okay, guys. Billie Eilish. The opinions of Billie Eilish really matter. Billie Eilish says celebrities who get plastic surgery and deny it make her literally furious. I don't know who's denying the plastic surgery nowadays. Lady Gaga, 35. Let's read this. GOP Senate candidate Peter Yu defends this racism thing. It's a lie statement. So Republican Senate candidate Peter Yu defended his statement at a campaign event in Golden, Colorado last month, suggesting that the Stop Asian Hate movement has been politically exaggerated. He's an Asian guy, so I don't know if he can't talk on it. We can't. If you're not Asian, you can't say. You can have an opinion, but you better be careful. Moving on. What do you call an Asian guy who's not down with the Asians? How when they, if you're black, but you're not sufficiently down with the black cause, they call you Uncle Tom. So if you're Asian and you're not sufficiently down with the Asian cause, what are you? Folks, you have any suggestions? You can send me an email, jaminsdaily@gmail.com, or you can share, make a comment. Make a comment on what you think. What do you think? What pejorative could we use for Asians who aren't sufficiently down with the Asian cause? I don't know. I don't want to come up with it, but if you have any suggestions, I will read them, not out loud, but in my mind. Blake Lively, she's only 33, casually shows off sculpted abs. I told you, they're always talking about sculpted abs, arms, and back. They never say, look at her TNA. It's hilarious. Jennifer Aniston clapped back at commenters asking her why she cut off anti-vax friends. So there was an article about Jennifer Aniston and how she had routines with friends. Maybe she drink coffee. Some of them were not vaccinated, so she had to cut them off. Cut them out of her life. Can't be my friend anymore. People are like, that's messed up. All right. Ted Cruz in a Captain Morgan pose. Once reportedly finished 3 beers. Oh, what? Let's see this. In a matter of minutes. Oh, what a boss. On Joe Manchin's houseboat. Here's the thing. Joe Manchin is a Democrat. Ted Cruz is a Republican. If they can be pounding beers together on a houseboat, I think that's good for democracy, actually. If you ask me. I think that's good. It's a good thing that they can let loose and talk about things, man. You got to negotiate. And that's how the founders did it, realistically. I guarantee you Benjamin Franklin was drinking beers before, during, and after at times when he was contemplating the future of our country. No doubt. At this point, there's no secret that Senator Joe Manchin resides on his houseboat. Almost heaven when visiting the nation's capital. But little did we know that the vessel, characterized by COVID-19 scares and strategy sessions with White House officials, has actually served as a hangout for lawmakers on both sides of the aisle to sing, eat, and even chug a beer or 3. For example, Senator Ted Cruz, while resting one foot atop a chair, a la Captain Morgan, is reported to have once downed 3 beers in a matter of minutes while fraternizing with former Senator Tom Harkin of Iowa, one of his most liberal colleagues. Said former Senator Mark Begich, Democrat of Alaska, who was apparently awestruck watching the moment. Cruz was drinking those beers like water. Hey, we're from Texas, guys. He's got to represent. It's hilarious. And on the party deck, punctuated by wrought iron chairs and tables with umbrellas, colleagues who clash on the hill are seen sharing pizza and pasta platters, sipping on moonshine, and singing and dancing to music like S.O.B. by Nathaniel Rateliff and The Night Sweats, a reported Manchin favorite. The West Virginia senator prefers to swap suits and ties for Hawaiian shirts and shorts, which he dons while Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer breaks into his own rendition of American Pie. Meanwhile, Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg might be seen chatting with Trump allied Senator Tommy Tuberville in a blink and you might miss it bonding moment sponsored by college football. What? Almost Heaven, the place for Washington, D.C. miracles. Well, here's the thing. Politicians are actors, folks. They play a role and a part on TV and in front of people. And then behind the scenes is this kind of junk, this stuff, which is fine. It sounds like a hell of a time. I wish I was there. And honestly, that's probably what's needed more. What's crazy is that these guys can pretend like if Chuck Schumer, I doubt Chuck Schumer and Ted Cruz are there at the same time. I think Joe Manchin has certain groups of these guys at different times. But it would be, it would actually be kind of heartening is the word. Like I would feel good. I'd feel like if Schumer and Cruz were there together, they're like political enemies. It's pretty nasty. But surely you can put that away for a day to drink beer and eat and hang out, right? You would think. That's what you call civilization, folks. That's what you call civilized folks. You're like, hey, let's forget about the politics today. Let's just hang out. Maybe. The fact that Ted Cruz pounded, surely it's an exaggeration. So he probably drank 3 beers in 30 minutes. So like, first, I want to know, or was this a spectacle? Was he like, hey guys, watch this? And he just went whack, whack, whack. I don't know. I feel like I need to know though, now. Oh, Gwen Stefani photoshopped Blake Shelton's ex-wife out of a throwback pic. That is what the kids would say nowadays. Savage. That was savage. Let's find a couple more before I see a bunch of Amelia Hamlin, Ashley Graham, Rita Ora, a bunch of like C-level Brody Jenner, all a bunch of C-level, D-level celebrities. See if we can find one other thing before we call it a wrap, folks. Oh, Dr. Dre's oldest daughter, Latanya West, says she's homeless and living out of a rental car, and her daddy doesn't want to give her any more money. It's too bad, man. How many times, if we had to guess, pure speculation, how much money do you think Dr. Dre is giving this lady, his daughter? How many times do you think he's probably tried to help her? She's 38. Yeah, at some point, she's my age. At some point, parents are allowed to cut you off. They're like, I can't help you anymore. When I help you, it only makes things worse. Britney Spears spiraling out of control. Father claims he was told. I don't think I know it's real popular. Maybe the sentiment is to be on Team Britney. Like, hey, you should be allowed to do what you want. I don't think she's well. And I don't think she's capable because of all the snakes who latch onto her. If she was just allowed, they would blow through her money. It would be not a good thing for her, I don't think. I know it's sad. Like, you should just let her do it. I mean, if that's what she wants, then let her. But is that what's best for her kids? I don't, I'm sure her dad, they try to villainize him, but I'm sure he probably has his 2 grandchildren in mind. Miley Cyrus, nah. Nicole Kidman, no. Jordan, no. Here's another. Britney Spears lawyer just revealed exactly how much. What's crazy is all this, if she would just, all this is going to lawyers, which is insane. If they could just do some mediation, okay, and figure it out. Guys, I think that's I guess that's probably enough. This girl, this Olivia Rodrigo, she looks like somebody. Miley Cyrus offered to educate the baby instead of canceling him after homophobic comments. And then she's going to want to do a video. Top 10 single, YouTube, iTunes. Let's make the money. I think that's a great idea. Everybody needs to be educated and educate themselves constantly, folks. So, with that, want to remind you that Jamin's Daily is brought to you by Sage Choice Insurance Agency. Remember now, we're doing Medicare health plans. So if you happen to be turning 65, you're older than 65, you're already in Medicare, you're one of Jamin's Daily's viewers. Open enrollment's coming up. Reach out to us. Sage Choice Insurance, 361-400-2411. If you just want to save money on your auto insurance, give us a call. Want to get a quote for your homeowner's insurance because it's coming up for renewal? Go to quotefromjamin.com, get a quote online. Give us info, we'll contact you. Until then, though, folks, stay with us because the best is yet to come.